These are my guests today. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rhonda Lofton, and today I'm going to share one of the biggest decisions that I've ever made in my life, and that was leaving corporate America to pursue education. Now, I used to believe that success was financial stability and, having money, but it wasn't fulfilling. So that's why I decided to go ahead and, pursue my dreams. Now, what made me decide was ultimately because when COVID happened, that's when I started receiving a lot of layoffs. So with COVID and AI coming out, it was just something that I said I needed to pursue. And I was having a conversation with my mom, and she was saying, you always work with kids, why don't you try to pursue that? And I was like, I'm 50 years old. Well, at the time I was 48 years old. And I was like, I'm too old to go back to school. But, you're never too old to go back to school. You can, I did ultimately make that decision. So I decided to start school. Now, at that time, I had recently got laid off, so it was time for me to try to find a job. So I decided to just go to a job fair with the school district, and I said, let's just see. I could definitely, apply. I had a lot of experience in corporate America, so I could definitely go that route. But why not try to, at least get my feet wet and go into education, into the school system, to see if that's really what, God has led me to do. So I went ahead and went to the job fair. I got a job as a TA for pre-K 4, and I have to say it's been the best experience of my life. I really, really enjoyed it. So that was confirmation enough for me to know that I was pursuing what God wanted me to, my actual purpose. A lot of times we as people are searching our whole life for purpose, and I finally found my purpose. So going forward, I had to take that leap of faith. So the first paycheck was not corporate America. I can tell you that. It was not the money that I thought, but I was like, you know what? I can't let that deter me. Then I started receiving opportunities. So I received a part-time job at the after-school program, which actually supplemented my income. But again, I was feeling that fulfillment that I was looking for in corporate America. So I just kept on going, and I continue to go on, even with children. God provided for us, regardless of the money. He provided. So again, that was confirmation that I was heading in the right direction. Sometimes we have doubt, and God opens doors, and He opened that door for the after-school program to supplement my education. Today, choosing education was the best professional decision that I've made, because it's fulfilling. And going through school, it was an adjustment, but like I said, you have to find your purpose. So I feel that I have found my purpose, and I encourage, my kids. My daughter graduated from college, and she's now a teacher. So I just, it was just like signs were coming from left and right, showing me that I was going in the right direction. So I don't regret leaving corporate America. It was a good run. It did provide for me and my children. But at the end of the day, it's all about what God has for me is for me. And I truly believe that was the whole purpose of this whole journey. Me working in corporate America, me changing my career, and a lot of people do that, So if there's any lesson in this, I would say that if you trust God and follow what He has for you in your life, He'll make a way, even if you don't think you can. Because I was really shocked with that paycheck. So in conclusion, I just want to encourage people and let them know that, you know, you can't get too comfortable in something and not be fulfilled in it. Money is not everything. You just have to find what God has your purpose, or what you are meant to do in His eyes. And thank you.